Hi, welcome to another edition of Onside, where we talk about this weekend's football matches, great games coming up in the English Premier League, as well as our local league. We've got the big derby, Kaizer Chiefs up against Orlando Pirates. It's a home game for Pirates, and that looks to be a great game. But before we get rolling, Budge, there were games during the week. I want to touch on your United, and I see guys are taking their shirts out the cupboard again. They've got to win.
Finally, yeah.
Finally, put their best set out. The best
I
side
think
out.
we had to. 75,000 fans at Old Trafford. We've already lost to City once at home. Couldn't afford to do it again.
No, so let's hope it turns it round for you. West Ham, good result, taking Chelsea out.
Yeah. When I was ironic, I turned over and I saw the second goal, hit it well.
Yeah.
Better team. Chelsea made a lot of changes.
Well, every team made a lot of change, except United.
Except
Mourinho was
I think we made 6 starters from Chelsea.
Yeah,
there
well,
again, there were 4 or 5 of them that were invisible, so I didn't miss them.
Yeah, Spurs lost to Liverpool during the week.
Yeah.
Liverpool played well, but Spurs threw in all their new boys apart from Dyer.
Yeah.
And they weren't up to it. Just shows we might not have the depth we'd like to think we have. But I think that's where it all comes together. If you can keep your players fit, like we battled with Kane now.
Yes.
You know, a lot of top teams cannot afford to lose their strikers.
Well, I
De
think it
Bruyne
depends,
and people like that. You know?
I think it depends on the priorities. Obviously, the Champions League spot is the main one for a lot of clubs.
Is it because of the money?
Must be.
Must be massive money.
And also, if you're in the Champions League, you can entice better players.
That's right. They come to play on that stage, don't they? And Chelsea and Liverpool, or because of their results last year, are nowhere. Nowhere. They're getting great results in the league.
No, they've both done great.
Yeah. Okay, nice to end a sentence with an adjective, Budge. Let's get rolling then, and we'll start with the English Premier League. But before we do that, a lot of people have been asking about Neil Tovey. Now, Neil Tovey had a heart scare, was rushed off after a cycle race and taken into hospital halfway through the race. He wasn't well, and they were very, very concerned for his life. And I popped in and saw him the other day. He's turned the corner beautifully. But he popped into the stables today to have a look at his horse. And I've got a photo for the public. Here's the latest on Neil Tovey. Budge, our buddy.
Yeah, good man, Toves.
Yeah, top man, Toves. Legendary footballer.
Yeah.
He's done so well. He's won the league. He's done everything.
Yeah, he's done everything he has to, yeah.
Yeah, there's a good footballer and a legend standing together, and a legend in the background. So thanks very much. Neil Tovey is strong as an ox, and for those of you out there a lot of people have asked me about his welfare. Neil Tovey is back and rearing to go. Right, we're rearing to go. Let's get straight into it, Budge. And the English Premier League is really hot now. Budge has got tight, eh?
Yep. For most of the teams except United, 6 points behind.
It's not that far, Budge. It's not that
far.
far.
I think we're 7th, Paul.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're 4th, we're 7th. So
yeah, that's a valid point. But when you look at, I think when Ronaldo was at Manchester United, the legendary Ronaldo, they won with 95, 92 and 90.
Yeah.
They can't get 90 this year.
I
No
don't
team
think
can
so.
get 90. It's just too competitive.
I think it's the best managerial quality that the Premiership's ever had.
Fantastic. And they're all egos.
Definitely, every one
of them. Sure. They've all got these egos and they throw their toys and we saw, let's get on to the first game, Sunderland, because we saw the boss at Sunderland get sent off yesterday.
Yeah, shame, not going too well. 2 points, 9 league games. Don't see it improving this weekend either. Yeah.
They go to Arsenal, who are doing very well.
Arsenal unbeaten in 13. It was a lucky result for them last week.
Yeah,
everyone was complaining.
But
in recent times, they've lost those type of games.
Yeah.
So while everyone said 2 points lost, it could have been a point gained.
Yeah, I look at it as 2 point loss because at home you've got to do it. The
especially Middlesbrough.
Stadium's packed. You get booed at half time. It's not good. And Arsene Wenger lately has threatened without delivering. He's got a couple of FA Cups to keep the fans quiet, but he needs the league again, Budge.
Well, 2004 was the last one with these Invincibles.
The Invincibles went unbeaten. I was watching.
Only in the league, Paul. They lost 5 games that year in Europe in the League Cup, but.
Okay, was it only the league? I was watching the program on the Invincibles. What a good player Perez was.
Oh, superb.
Bergkamp and Henry and these guys.
No, they were a top team.
Top team. But if you remember that league that year, Budge, boom, Man United, penalty.
Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy hit the crossbar.
Hit the crossbar, and they retained the unbeaten. But anyway, let's move on. Arsenal should beat Sunderland.
Should be.
Okay, let's move. West Brom. Now, West Brom played well against Liverpool, especially when they got a goal back, and they started getting back at Liverpool having a good year. Man City haven't won in 6, Budge. What do you think?
Well, I don't know what's gone wrong with Aguero. He didn't start him last night, didn't start him against Southampton. There's rumour he's looking at selling him. I don't know why.
Whoa, he's a great player.
I think he's the best player in England other than De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So something's gone wrong. He obviously rested a lot of players last night. The goalkeeper I'm not sold on, but he's trying to play out from the back.
The keeper plays out.
I don't know, Paul. They can't keep a clean sheet, and I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
they'll keep a clean
unusual.
sheet this
That's
week.
unusual.
They should beat West Brom, but this won't be easy.
What are they like at defending set pieces? Because the strength of West Brom is any
Well, they
set
score every
piece-
game from a set piece.
Every game they score. Corner set piece. You never see them build up and go through. It's boom, throw it in the box, and they've got the big boys having a go.
Boy, Rondon and Co up front, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Man City are 4-10. They're hot favourite. They should win. Budge.
Yeah, 4-10 I wouldn't be taking. And remember, they play Barcelona at home on Tuesday. So they don't think they get a result here. I doubt they'll beat Barcelona on Tuesday. So it could be... but you would fancy them to beat West
They're
Brom.
top of the league. Let's not forget that. This team is top of the league. Even though they're struggling in cups and things like that, they are top of the league. They're a great side in their day. But the valid point, they've got to make a decision of who to play and who not to play with their Tuesday game coming up. Okay, Man United, Burnley. United should beat Burnley.
Should be.
Burnley at a nuggety.
Yeah, Andre Gray comes back, the centre forward. I watched a lot of the Burnley-Everton game last week. How they won, I don't know.
Yeah, Everton were the better side.
Everton, better team. But they're gutsy, Paul. Away from home, always seem to struggle, but they won't give in.
They won't give in. They have beaten Everton.
Yeah.
They have beaten Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it's a feather in the cap.
Yeah, all at home. You know they're going to put 10 man
What's
wall.
the manager's name?
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche, Englishman.
1 of 3, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So Burnley, we can't see in the middle. Man United, for all those fans who've got their shirts back out, you 1-5 to win. Okay, now here's an interesting game. Watford, who are playing good football this year, play Hull, who are struggling now.
Well, Hull have only got 1 point from the last 7 league games.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, they were a little bit unlucky against Stoke until Shaqiri scored that wonder goal. They had a penalty that could have been hit the guy on the hand, but you don't score. Snodgrass, their main guy, got injured. And I fancy Watford big time here.
Watford, they're competitive against any team they go up against, so that should be very interesting, but I think Watford will. Now, Middlesbrough must have come away with their tails up after a wonderful game the other day. They could have taken all 3 points against Arsenal.
We said it the last time they played Watford. This is a must-win game for Middlesbrough. Slowly but surely, you can see 3 or 4 teams are going to be at the bottom fighting for relegation, and I think they're going to be one of them. They don't get a result here, Paul. I think they're in serious trouble.
They play against Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth won 3 in a row. They held Spurs. So they're in a rich vein of form.
Yeah, they're well organised. Away from home, they're not as great. Yeah, but they've won 2, drawn 2 the last 4 games.
Yeah.
I like. Middlesbrough played great against Arsenal, but it was like a free card. Let's have a go. We're expected to get beat. Yeah. At home, Bournemouth will come and sit, and let's see what Middlesbrough got to offer.
You don't think Bournemouth will go and attack? You think they'll sit a bit?
Bournemouth, they'll sit. They've got a lot of pace
Eddie
up front.
Howe has taken them through the divisions. He's a wonderful lad when you listen to him talk on TV, but he's got to try and win a game like this to sort of assure himself a run up near.
I think this is one of the games he doesn't want to lose because Middlesbrough will be one of the teams they've got to finish above.
But all these struggling teams, the Middlesbroughs, the Swanseas, the Sunderlands, they're going to pick up wins somewhere. It's going to be against the run of play. It's going to be lucky. It's going to be a send-off. It's going to be a penalty. Yeah. So it's never a clear cut. Now Tottenham are 6-10 to beat Leicester City, the champions, and they came into town to beat us last year with a huge header.
Last minute.
I think Tottenham they didn't play their players in the League Cup this week. They're all going to be there. Back at home, they're a good side at home.
Yeah, I was disappointed with Spurs against Bournemouth last time. I don't like this 4-5-1 formation.
Neither do I.
Spurs, those are the games you've got to win the league. I know it's a difficult place to go, Bournemouth. With Spurs' defence, they've got to get more people forward.
I agree. I've found we've got a situation with Wanyama and Dyer. Same type of game. Wanyama is a very good ball winner. Yeah. Very good. Even though they brought him on in the League Cup, he wins a lot of balls and gets him going forward. I think we've got to try and get a couple of goals, get a win here. Otherwise, as you say, it's going to.
This is a big game for Spurs.
We're not in the top 4 because of goal difference, so must win. Crystal Palace now onside Benteke.
Yeah.
What is he? Must have the world record for offsides. Craig
Benfield's banners anyway.
Banners his boy. Benteke now. Crystal Palace have had a couple of decisions go against them. They looked like they were coming right, and then they've stuttered a bit, but it's not easy. You've got the mighty Liverpool coming into town. They're on a roll.
Yeah, on a roll. Benteke's cost them the last 2 games.
Liverpool?
We're trying to cost them more points on the weekend. He missed a penalty against West Ham.
Yeah, not
had
good
a free header from the small box, and it was 0-0 against Leicester. Hit the crossbar. His shooting sights better be on this week.
Yeah.
But he'd be looking at this Liverpool back four and think, get a few crosses in.
Yes, that's what they've got to hope
that's
for.
That's what they'll be trying to keep it tight and do the set piece.
That's what they've got to throw.
I think Scott Dan, their centre half, will be back.
Yeah,
he's influential.
So that's their key. Get in there and ruffle the back boys.
Yeah, that's the only way they're going to upset Liverpool.
Because they're a good team going forward, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Very good team. Right, let's move on to Everton, who are also a good team. And West Ham, who seem to be just getting out of the mire.
Yeah, I like Everton here, Paul. You know, West Ham last night, I didn't watch a lot of it. I only saw a few minutes because I was watching the United-Liverpool City game. Coming right, but, you know, Antonio, Payet and Lanzini, those guys were the creators last year.
Yeah.
You know, they're lacking up front. I know they've won their last 3 games, but, you know, Everton, well organised at the back. I think they'll have too much for West Ham.
I think Everton, myself, will beat West Ham. Now, a team that's doing well is Southampton. Who's that?
Yeah.
Claude
Puel, the Frenchman.
He's done a great job.
Yeah.
You know, every time a manager does well there, he gets whipped to a bigger side. If you go back to the Spurs manager, you go back to the Everton manager, and now this guy's going to get whipped as well. He's made it a good sign. If you go back over the last 10 years, the players they've brought through and lost, going back to Bale. Yeah. And Arsenal got 2 very, very good ones.
Walcott's there.
Liverpool have got good ones, you know.
Yeah.
So they unfortunately, they just sell. They just sell. And it's a bit of a tragedy because they're a good side.
Yeah, geez. They play well against Man City, and they'll give Chelsea a hard game. I know he rested a lot of his key players like Hazard and Diego Costa and Matic, but Southampton were impressive against Man City away. Yeah, those 2 centre-halves, Font and Van Dijk, are as good a centre-half pairing.
Van Dijk's as good a centre-half as I've seen.
Yeah.
He's got everything. His corners, he doesn't lose them.
Yeah, he's the next guy for the big move.
That's your next Southampton player going to go to the top club. He's a great player. Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk.
Tell me about Chelsea. Playing well.
Yeah, Leicester were garbage. They beat them comfortably 3-0.
But Man United thumped Leicester.
Man United, But played well against United. Everyone's been harping how bad United's back four was, and they were shocking. But Chelsea did play well.
They played very good football.
Yeah, he's got that Italian system going, the 3-5-2, the 3 centre-halves. John Terry played last night.
That's right, I saw that.
It'll be interesting to see whether he plays. I don't think he will.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but this won't be an easy game. In the middle of Park, Southampton will mix it with them.
Would they think of playing Luiz as a holding midfield and bringing Terry back?
No, I doubt it.
To change their format too much.
It's been successful.
Pedro's got a new lease on life.
He's done well, Pedro.
Because I thought he was, sort of marking time, but he's played well.
But Paul, remember, he played for Spain in the World Cup in South Africa. He was a right winger in that Spanish team. So he's one of these unsung heroes. He's up and down.
He can play.
And he can play, yeah.
Chelsea, very good side going forward.
Now, this will be a tight game. Slight favour to Chelsea, but it wouldn't surprise me if Southampton beat them.
If you like Chelsea, you get 13-10.
Yeah, that's a good
You're
price.
a Chelsea fan. Okay, let's go on to Stoke City, who are, again, pulling themselves up the ladder. Hughes is a nuggety boss, and it was tough seeing him struggling down there, but he's got his good players back. There's one guy missing up front, though, for them. There were 3 people who played Champion Leagues that he bought. Not Boban or...
Bojan, he was the third one.
Where's he?
He's on the bench.
Wow, he was a good player in his day.
Well, they haven't been getting results, Paul, and I think the main reason that was Shea Given was in goals. He's been a superb servant to football, but
time's up.
Time is up, and they replaced him with a goalkeeper from Derby. He was on loan from Derby, and he's done quite well for them.
So he's Given on the bench.
So Given's on the bench, and that's why
Bojan can discuss racing.
Well, you've got Shaqiri and Arnautovic, and Boney up front. And the guy that came from Liverpool, he's done well, Joe Allen.
Okay, and Swansea struggling a bit?
Just can't crack a win. They were the better team against Watford. Just watching the highlights, they're the better team.
Always does well.
Always hits the post.
Yeah, always hits the post.
They're going to spring a surprise. They're getting better and better, but if you don't score, you obviously can't win.
That's
the American Bob Bradley.
Yeah. Okay, we've looked at South Africa. We're going to look at South Africa. We looked at British football. It's a great weekend's football, and make sure you don't miss it. But now the South African League is starting to pick up. And what I found very interesting, and what I found very annoying, is that when you look at the British League, teams have all played the same amount of games. You get the South African League because one team goes into Africa, they played one league match.
Yeah, Sundowns have only played one,
and some have played 2 and some have played 3.
And played 6.
Yeah, they've got to sort that out, but the rest of the world sorts it out.
Yeah, I think with the MTN8 knockout, MTN8 sponsor wanted that weekend specifically for their teams. So if you were scheduled to play on Saturday and you were in the knockout, they abandoned the game.
Try and work around it. But let's get straight into the action. Yeah. Okay, we got Chipper at home to Platinum Stars. Chipper struggle to score, don't they?
Yeah, I watched them against Celtic. I backed them. I thought they would win. Fair result, 0-0. They missed a chance in the last minute to win the game, but struggling to score all the possession, just can't convert it.
Yeah,
they're the better team. Platinum Stars,
one
of those up and down teams. You just can't catch them.
Yeah. Okay, now Maritzburg United, is this the only KZN team? Or
No, it's Arrows. Arrows are a Durban team as well.
Right. I've watched you that before, that's right. Maritzburg United, oh, this is a local derby then.
Yeah.
Golden Arrows are doing well.
The second top. You know,
they played more.
Yeah, they played more. Yeah, I think they played the same amount as Maritzburg. Maritzburg can't score goals.
Is that right?
They've only scored 2 in the 7 games. They got knocked out of the Telkom last week by Chiefs on a penalty shootout. They played well, but still, if you don't score, Paul, you're going to be in trouble here.
So how would you see this game?
Well, the draw's obviously got to be
a
massive one. But of the 2 teams, I like Arrows.
Now, talking about draws, Orlando Pirates play Kaizer Chiefs. You heard it here first, now that we're in the league. They're both doing well.
Yeah. Well, Pirates, it's a pressure game, as we all know. There'll be 90,000 there, and it's who handles the occasion better. Chiefs, the last 5 games, they've won all 5, haven't conceded a goal.
That's improvement.
Yeah, so
who's the same manager?
It's Steve Compella, yeah. So it's a tight game, it's tense. We want an early goal, but you never tend to get them here.
And where would they play that game at?
Probably this is the main one, yeah. I think it's the FNB Stadium, yeah.
It'll be a great game. Pirates play them. That's Saturday at 3:30, guys. If you want to watch a good game, watch that game. Ajax Cape Town against SuperSport United.
Yeah, they got beat last night. They're winning 2-1. Ajax. Bidvest Wits came and grabbed them. They haven't won all season. Can't keep a clean sheet.
Haven't won a game all
season.
Who's in charge
That's
there?
Roger Desar.
Gee, Roger, mate.
Yeah, he's under pressure.
He's under serious pressure. So, and he knows what he's doing. It's just if players don't play for you.
He's got a lot of good young players there.
Yeah.
But defensively, Paul, you can't concede every game.
Yeah, every game. You've got to close the door first. And SuperSport?
Well, SuperSport knocked them out at the Telkom last weekend in Pretoria. They won 1-0 in extra time. Coming right, SuperSport. You've got to fancy them of the 2 teams, but it'll be a draw in SuperSport for me.
Yeah. Okay, Ajax Cape Town, 1 of 10. Eh? Bloem Celtic, Bidvest Wits.
Yeah, Bloem Celtic unbeaten away from home, but they've only won 1 of their 10 home games. Find that hard to believe. Wits a top team. They got knocked out of the Telkom by Free State Stars last weekend, extra time. You'd expect them to win, but Bloemfontein's a funny place.
Yeah. No, don't tell me, Don't tell me what you can meet in Bloemfontein. I don't want to bring that up now. It's not for another day. But Bidvest Wits, that's Hunt.
That's Gavin Hunt's team, yeah. They'll be one of the teams to beat in the league.
Didn't they win this week?
They got beat 3-1 in the Telkom, but they won last night. They beat Ajax 2-1.
That's right, yeah. Okay, so we how do you see it? You say it's tough going there?
It's not going to be easy. Celtic aren't an easy team to play against.
Okay, Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, they've done very, very well. So they went out there and they won in Africa.
Did the job in Egypt.
Now, how many games have they played in this league?
They've only played 1 league game. Actually, it was Maritzburg, and they played all the reserves. They drew 0-0. So they've only played 1 game. They're playing the Telkom knockout tonight. They play Polokwane City at home.
Will they be too good for Polokwane?
Should be. It depends what team. Maybe they're still celebrating from the weekend.
They've had a lot of functions for them and a lot of people speaking out and talking about them.
They deserve it, Paul.
Yeah, of course they do. A pat on the back for them. And Cape Town City struggling a bit?
Yeah, of late. Can't see them getting a result in Pretoria.
Okay, Baraka Calcium?
Yeah, it's a local derby, Polokwane derby.
Okay.
Yeah, they've done well lately, Baraka. They won 3 of the last 4 games. Local derbies are always tight.
Yeah.
Draw a big player.
Okay, and that leaves us with our man Igerson. Now, Igerson's taken over Highlands Park. Yeah. And he's had 1 game in charge and he won 2-0. Is that right?
They beat Chipper in the Telkom on Friday night.
So he needs league points. He needs to get rolling. Free State Stars.
Well, they're the team that knocked out Bidvest Wits. But it went to extra time. They scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. Haven't won in 16 league games.
Whoa, so Igerson's hoping
It's a good chance for Gordon to get a few more points or get a few points on the board.
There we are. It's a great footballing weekend, as you can see, locally and internationally. And as I say, some of those derbies coming up. But let's get into our Soccer Sixes, because a lot of people filed in these. And I'm going to go and pick Budge's brain because we've got Soccer 6-1. Budge, here it is.
Well, we've gone 1, 2, 3. Soweto derby is, Real Madrid will be too good for promoted
George Alves.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid. I watched the game. They got beat by Sevilla. It was at the same time as United. Started 30 minutes before the United game. So I watched the first 30 minutes. Superb game. They lost 1-0. Samir Nasri was the man of the match for Seville. That Man City guy.
He playing with Seville now?
He's at Seville, yeah. Atletico Madrid don't get beat at home. Malaga have done well at home, but away from home they've struggled. Now Porto, great stats. I spoke to you earlier. They've won their last 27 games against Vitória Setúbal.
They've won their last 27.
That's like
So that means we've got to go to the other team.
well,
They drew the other team, yeah.
Paul, they've played 44 times, and Port have won 41 and drawn 3. So
Wow, Vittoria Setúbal, what's it, a women's team? Gee.
So, we've gone that way, and then we've gone the field because of the perm allocate. Ajax Supersport, 2 and 3 I think will suffice. Likewise the Wits and Bloemfontein. But, we're allowed to spend that money, so I'll put the fields in the 3 South African
So we've got
games.
3 fields, 3 bankers,
Yeah.
162. Okay, let's go on to our next one, and this is
Yeah,
Soccer
the
6.
English.
Now this is the English one.
Yeah,
Man United, you gone the banker.
Well, if we can't beat Burnley at home, with all due respect to the Burnley fans, well, I think
Yeah.
Mourinho will be under severe pressure. Middlesbrough, Bournemouth, as much as I like Bournemouth, we have 2 fields too, and I think that'll be a close game.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough's performance last week was exceptional. I've gone Tottenham in the draw against Leicester.
Okay.
I've banked Watford because I think they're a...
Ever since they made the boy Phelan in charge,
Yeah, they can't win.
they can't win, eh?
Yeah. And we've got Man City in the draw. And I've got 1, 2, 3, the other field with Crystal Palace and Liverpool. I know my mates will be jumping up and down for my Man United
but
bias.
we follow a perm.
we have
follow
the
a
perm to do.
yeah.
And I just think those 2 fields look the toughest games.
Okay, Soccer 10, page 1. Now I
Okay.
like talking to you because the championship's great fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Brighton and
Yeah,
Hove
well,
Albion.
two of the top 3 teams in there. I think they're 2nd and 4th in their league, alongside Newcastle. They the
Norwich
3.
had a setback the other day.
My boys Preston beat them at home.
That's right.
But they got beat in the League Cup on penalties in midweek. But it'll be a close game. Brighton have won 6, drawn 2 the last 8 games.
Fulham?
Don't concede many. Well, Fulham, they had a bad patch, but they came back against Norwich the other day. They were 2 down.
They got beaten by
beat by Villa. You'd have seen the goalkeeper. All he had to do was clear it, and he tried to be clever like Bravo at Man City and Aston Villa ensnared them. Huddersfield going well, but away from home. They've lost 3 of the last 4 away from home.
Okay, Stevie will be back down at the game Fulham. He doesn't miss a Fulham game. Manchester United, Burnley, we've gone United.
Of the 2 teams, because perm size, I've given Bournemouth over Middlesbrough. My Preston boys, when I send in the clip, they'll be going off their head. But Newcastle beat us 6-0 at St James's Park on Tuesday night. We made 9 changes and we had a player sent off at 1-0.
Cup match.
It's a League Cup game, but 6-0. There'll be a lot of changes both ways. Newcastle, best team by street.
Keep their manager. Let's go look at the back half.
Yep, I've gone for Spurs to beat Leicester, Watford to beat Hull, Man City, and I've gone 1, 2, 3 Blackburn Wolves. Now Wolves have just sacked their manager, Walter Zenga, the famous Italian goalkeeper. He got fired. They couldn't win a game for a while. And then I've gone Liverpool in the draw against Crystal Palace.
Okay, 432 for the Soccer 10. And you can see, we're going to see Soccer 13. You can see how we have to manipulate it. We keep our costs together. But here's Soccer 13. This is the big money. It's never easy.
Yep.
What do we have, 10, 11 the other day?
We got 10 last week and 11, and we got 12 the other week. Didn't pay the greatest, but we were close. Banker United.
Yes.
Bournemouth in the draw. Banker Tottenham, Banker Watford, Man City in the draw. Now, Barnsley buried us in our get-out-stakes treble last week. They'd lost 5 prior and they beat Brentford at home. Deserved winners.
Was it?
No, they beat Brentford.
Okay.
But they were deserved winners according to both managers. So I've given them, Bristol City are going well, but away from home they've been struggling lately. So I've gone Barnsley in the draw. It's a 1, 2, 3 if you can afford it.
Yeah.
But obviously we can't.
Yeah.
I've given Brighton the credit, Brighton in the draw against Norwich City.
Down on the coast.
On the coast,
Right, let's have a look at the next page.
Cardiff are going great. Neil Warnock's taken over.
Somehow he does a job, that guy. Then as he gets them right, they fire him.
Yeah, I suppose they want him to keep them in the league and he wants more money to sign players. They were impressive last week. I watched the first half against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
And I like Forest, but they murdered Forest. They won 2-1. Derby just can't score goals. I know McLaren's gone in there. They don't concede many.
Team,
But Sheffield Wednesday have been on a roll.
Yeah, they're doing well.
I've given them Fulham in the draw against Huddersfield. Huddersfield away from home has struggled, and Fulham's luck's got to turn.
Huddersfield are up there, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think Fulham will beat them. Anyway, Leeds United.
Yeah, Leeds and Burton. As I said, I was impressed with Burton last Friday. I went for Birmingham, and they totally outplayed them. I know it's a tight little ground at Burton, and that's Nigel Clough's team. But I think Leeds...
Nigel Clough, Brian
Clough's son, he's in charge of Burton.
He used to be with the Posh, didn't he?
No, that was Alec Ferguson's son. He was at He was at Derby and Forest prior, Nigel Clough.
Okay. Preston, your boys?
Unfortunately, I've got a banker in Newcastle. And then I've gone Reading. Reading you could banker, but Nottingham Forest always score.
Yeah.
And they're going to catch one of the team. Reading's Job Stam's team. They got beat last Saturday by Aston Villa. the previous week by Aston Villa.
Okay.
But I like Reading at home. But
all right, let's have a look at your bets for the weekend. These are sponsored by Track and Ball. We thank Track and Ball hell of a lot for their sponsorship. Here we go, Budge, your treble.
Yeah, I've gone Watford. I think Watford will be too good over Hull. I like Everton to beat West Ham, and I think Cardiff City, they're playing Wigan, who've also just fired their manager.
Okay.
Cardiff, I like Neil Warnock, gets results. Then I've done the international one. I can't believe the prices on these. I watched Sevilla, they're away from home, I think against Sporting Gijon, who are a poor team.
Yeah.
Villarreal play the Gunners of Spain, who are Arbar. And they play on a small pitch. I like Villarreal. And I can't believe Roma are 7-10. So that was a treble I took for the international.
Okay, they're over 2.5 goals. You've got to be 3 goals total.
Got to be 3 goals. Now, this first game, Barnsley, Bristol City, over 2.5. Like my boys, Las Palmas. I don't know if you saw Kevin Prince Boateng scissor kick goal last week.
No.
Goal of the weekend. Now, they got beat 2-1 by Villarreal. So I've gone over 2.5, Las Palmas, Celta Vigo. And Real Madrid to score over 2.5 goals against Alaves.
George Alaves.
So they've got to score 3 goals.
Okay, let's look at the next page, Budge.
Then we've got both teams to score.
You can get West Brom going to get a goal against City?
They scored against Liverpool. They scored against the best defence in the league. Spurs. They just set pieces. And I've been to that ground, the Hawthorns. It's nice and tight. And they've got some langoustines in that team. And it's going to get torpedoed on Bravo. That you can take poison on.
And Benteke going to score against Liverpool?
Yeah, I think he will. Likewise, Liverpool, great game forward. But defensively, I think they'll come under pressure in the aerial assault. And Southampton, Chelsea.
Yeah, I think they're a good game. They're scoring goals, that's what counts.
And the Championship, I've gone Reading, Notts Forest. Forest always score. Well, more than likely cost us this weekend. But Reading, that'll be a good game. Barnsley, Bristol City is open gates both ways. And Birmingham Villa. Steve Bruce goes back to his old team. That's a Sunday lunchtime game.
Okay, so those are the bets, eh?
That's our 5 bets. And obviously Sunday's the worst day in the year for us soccer fans because the clocks go back another hour.
Oh, sure.
So the 9 o'clock games are 10 o'clock and midnight calling.
Yeah, midnight calling. But there we go. And we've got a good idea what's happening this weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.